How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Syracuse Aviation and welcome back to another airport update. Today we are back at Cedar Creek Regional Airport. It's been a really long time since I last did an update of this airport. I'm very excited to be back. It's been so long and I really was starting to miss it, so I apologize for the delays. Basically, there was an event with the airport board that kind of ruined it, so I had to not really redo, I just had to clean up a lot of messes, I guess. So the board is finally back to its original condition, how it was supposed to be. It's looking really nice. I'm very excited to be back here. So once again, I apologize for the delay. There's been a lot of stuff happening at the airport since the last update, so I'm very excited. Let's get started here at Gate 2. So yes, you may be questioning, if you've watched the previous updates, you may remember that the first gates were all Delta gates. So there's been a couple additions of gates, a couple changes, different airlines moving to different gates. There's been some airline additions, some route additions. So here at this end of the terminal, this is more the west end of the terminal, we have an international gate here, which is very small. So if Air Canada were to come here, maybe Aer Lingus, or someone, we could potentially see that gate be used in the future. It's more of a temporary international gate, so hopefully we can get a nice little terminal piece over here with customs facility and all of that. Maybe they'll have their own baggage claim, that kind of stuff, so we'll have to see, but for now that's kind of how it is. So here at Gate 2 we have a Frontier Airlines Airbus A320. So yes, this is a new airline to Cedar Creek. So Frontier has announced operations on a once daily service to Orlando and Denver. So this one arrived in from Orlando earlier today and will be heading out back to Orlando. Then later today it will do a Denver turn. So just Orlando and Denver. Once again, those are both once daily service on an A320 for now. I'd love to see them add Las Vegas in the future. We'll have to see though. That'd be really good though, as well as more Florida destinations like Fort Myers, Tampa, those kind of places, maybe Miami. We'll have to see though, but for now, very nice to have a new airline here at the airport. Once again, operating flights on a once daily service to both Orlando and Denver. Next up for Delta Airlines, here some really cool changes with their Atlanta service. So you guys may remember it was operated on the A319 for the longest time on a 5 daily frequency. So that's changed now. Instead of a 5 daily A319, it's a 3 daily A321. So nice little change up there of aircraft type. So we will see the A319s here at the airport quite abundantly. So on top of the 3 daily A321s, we will still be seeing the A319 from a couple destinations. So very nice variety here for Delta, very nice upgrade. One other thing I'd point out, you guys may know that A321 typically boards from the L1 door. However, due to limited space here at Cedar Creek, you can kind of tell there's not a ton of space here. We do have to have them pull forward slightly more and utilize the L2 door to save some taxi space. So just to make it a little bit more efficient here at the airport, that's kind of what they're doing. So that being said, let's move on to Gate 4. Here at Gate 4 we have a Delta Airlines Airbus A319. This aircraft has arrived in from Boston Logan International Airport. So this is a new service for Cedar Creek to Boston with Delta Airlines. This is a twice daily service. We'll see if they compete with JetBlue at all in the future. JetBlue currently doesn't have operations to Boston, but it'd be really nice to see that maybe on the A220 someday. We'll have to see though. But yeah, once again, here at Gate 4, the Delta Airlines Airbus A319 on a twice daily service to Boston. Next up here at Gate 5 is a Delta Connection CRJ700. This aircraft is on a turn-on flight from Detroit Metro International Airport. So Detroit is 5 daily. I can't remember what it was in the last update, but it was a CRJ700 in the last update. I just can't remember the frequency. So now it is a 5 daily flight on the CRJ700. Not really a whole lot to go over there. Just nice to see some regional jets alongside the main line here to get more variety, of course. CRJ700 is a really good fit for this route, especially on that 5 daily frequency. It's been working pretty well. Excited to see how that goes in the future. Next up here at Gate 6 is a Delta Airlines Airbus A319. Once again, this aircraft is on the turn-on flight to New York LaGuardia. So just like Boston, this is another new Delta Airlines service here out of Cedar Creek on the E319. This is also a twice daily service, once again to New York LaGuardia. So that's gonna hopefully compete with some maybe some American airline service in the future, but for now it's on Delta, which explains why it's an A319. It's once again a 2 daily service, and they're the only airline operating this airport currently at the airport. So that's why they're on the A319, is because there's a little bit higher load factors. So very nice to see some A319s here making their way into Cedar Creek. It's pretty cool to have a smaller frequency on a larger aircraft, I think, with a mix of higher frequency on a smaller aircraft. You get a lot of that variation in aircraft types, which is kind of what I've tried to do here at Cedar Creek to the best of my ability. So that's why we're seeing about a half and half of regional jets and mainline, mainly for Delta Airlines, but you will see a little bit with United and American as well. So we have one more Delta service over here pulling in. This guy's coming in from New York JFK. So this is a Delta CRJ 900, as you guys can probably tell, on a 5 daily service to New York JFK. So kind of alongside the LaGuardia service. You would think maybe JFK would be mainline too, but the reason it's not, again, just a higher frequency, which kind of takes care of the aircraft size. So yeah, that is the Delta Airlines service here at Cedar Creek. So looking pretty nice there. Excited to see where they go from here in the future. Building up their number of gates here, looking really nice. Pulling in. So basically, I forgot to mention this, the CRJ7 is going to push back here shortly, so they're going to have to wait for a few minutes until that's done. And then we'll head out to, let's see, the 700 will head out to Detroit. This guy will pull in from JFK and head back out to JFK. Once again, we have another new airline to Cedar Creek. So here, let's see, gate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gate 7 here, one of our beautiful glass jet bridge gates. A Breeze Airways Airbus A220 300 coming in from Charleston. So Charleston, a new service for the airport, a new airline as well. So this is pretty awesome to have not only Frontier but also Breeze adding destinations. So adding a lot of that leisure travel demand, and not competition yet between the two, but we'll have to see where that goes in the future. Maybe stuff like Fort Myers, Sarasota, that kind of thing. So so far, Breeze has just started with a twice weekly A220 to Charleston. They definitely have said that they plan to add more routes in the future. They'll probably add them very quickly, very rapidly, as that's kind of what they do. So we'll have to see what those are. I have a lot of ideas for Breeze, a lot of destinations that would serve very well here. But just to kind of test the waters and make their presence known before they really start going at the routes. They're going to start with just a twice weekly A220 to Charleston, kind of make their presence known, show the area what they're all about, and once the word gets around about them, that's kind of when they'll add the other destinations. So I'm very excited to see where they go from here, but definitely to start out, once again, the first update with Breeze Airways, just a twice weekly A220 300 in Charleston. It's going to be really nice to see here, so very happy with Breeze Airways. Next up at Gate 8, pushing back, an American Airlines Airbus A319 on the turnaround service to Charlotte Douglas International Airport. So the last update, this was operated on an Embraer 175, so a slight demand increase leading to a 3 daily A319 service to Charlotte. It's going to be really nice to see that, how that goes here in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets upgraded to a 738, because demand on this flight has been quite high, so they could add another frequency in the A319, which I'd probably prefer them to do a 737-800 3 daily and then save the A319s for like Miami or something like that. But we'll have to see how that goes. Maybe they can do Phoenix in the future. So for now, this is what American's been doing with Charlotte. So once again, 3 daily A319. This one's pushing back here, and I'll head out to Charlotte. And waiting for the A319 to move out of the way so it can pull into the gate, an American Eagle ERJ 145 arriving in from Philadelphia. This is a 3 daily service for American Eagle. So a 3 daily Embraer 145 for a hub. Not like the greatest thing in the world, but it's definitely here, operated very consistently. The loads have been decent, so I'm hoping at some point that's upgraded to an Embraer 175 or a CRJ 900. Kind of work on that connection, the hub status of that destination here, and hopefully the loads will increase, leading to larger aircraft, but definitely not complaining here. The Embraer 145 is a super cool aircraft to have here. Once again, even if they don't upgrade the aircraft type, they could upgrade the frequency that's operated on, carry more passengers to Philadelphia. So a very pivotal route here to have at Cedar Creek. Not one of the most interesting, but still nevertheless a very nice one to have for our passengers to utilize. One thing that hasn't changed at the airport here at Gate 9 is the American Airlines Boeing 737-800 with the winglet logo. This aircraft is operating the Dallas-Fort Worth turn today. This is still a 3 daily frequency. It's been operating very, very well, very consistently. The loads have been outstanding for this destination, so very excited to see how these loads continue to increase. I really think they'll keep this on the 737-800. I don't think it's necessary to upgrade it to an A321. I think what they would do is just upgrade the frequency, because the 738, there's a ton of those flying out of Dallas, so it makes the most sense to fly that operation on the 737-800. So once again, 3 daily 737-800 to Dallas-Fort Worth. Here at Gate 10, we have another new airline for the airport. I apologize if it's kind of a lot to add 3 airlines, but I haven't done an airport update here in like 6 or 7 months probably of this airport, so I apologize for that. Once we get all these new airlines set in stone, kind of operating consistently, we're going to start adding more routes slowly over the months is my plan. Then we'll slowly start adding new airlines every few months. But yeah, I just figured because I haven't been here for so long, I would add some new airlines, kind of get things, pick up the pace a little bit, just because that's what would have happened if I was filming these updates consistently. So I apologize for that, but this is kind of just what's happened. So let's see, here at Gate 10, once again, the JetBlue Airways Airbus A320. Whoops, kind of almost knocked the board off the table. This aircraft will be heading out to Orlando today, which is a once daily service. That is all that JetBlue has at the moment. I'm hoping they open up, let's see, JFK and Boston would be great, as well as some more Florida destinations, maybe some West Coast operations would be good too. So we'll have to see what happens in the future, but for now, it's a once daily A320 to Orlando. Next up at Gate 11, another consistent operation here at Cedar Creek that hasn't changed, the Baltimore-Washington service with Southwest. Still a 5 daily 737-700. It's been operating very well. The loads are great, and there hasn't really been any changes there. There just hasn't been much of an increase or a decrease, so 5 daily is definitely working very, very well for them. It's been great to see this operation going consistent. Would love to see some 800s in the future, but that'll probably be saved more for the higher demand cities on a lower daily frequency. So we'll have to see what happens there. But once again, for Southwest, Baltimore, 5 daily. Chicago Midway has also been added for Southwest, so that is a 3 daily frequency on a 737-700 at the current time. We'll have to see if that increases in the future. Would be nice to see an increase, maybe again a 737-800, but for now it's a 700 on a 3 daily frequency. So here we have the Maryland 1 737-700 arrived in from Midway, and will be heading back out to Midway. Next up, we have an Allegiant A319 with fence tips and the new livery. This aircraft will be heading out to Las Vegas today. Allegiant has slightly scaled back on their operations. Currently, they just have once daily A319 to Las Vegas and Orlando Sanford, 2 large Allegiant hubs. So currently, that's all they have. Just want to operate things a little bit consistently, a little bit slower as well. So they're just doing once daily to each destination on an A319. So once again, Las Vegas and Orlando Sanford. So this one will be heading out to Las Vegas, and they'll plan to add some more routes in the future, but currently they just have the 2. Next up, getting into our final 2 aircraft at the terminal here, we have 2 Evo Blue United Airlines aircraft. So first off, in front of us, we have the United Airlines 737-900, once again the Evo Blue colors. This aircraft will be heading out to Chicago O'Hare today, which is a 3 daily service. It's been very good on the 737-900 on the 3 daily frequency. It's been very consistent, which is a little bit strange for United. Typically they go for the more inconsistent stuff, changing things almost on the daily, or at least every other day. but here at Cedar Creek it's been pretty consistent for the most part, which has been really awesome. Very proud of United for being consistent here. So once again, Chicago O'Hare, 3 daily 737-900. And the final aircraft here at the terminal, the United CRJ 700, or actually this is a 550 filling in for a 700. So this aircraft is going to be heading out to Washington IAD, Washington Dulles International Airport, another United Airlines hub. So this is a 4 daily frequency on the CRJ 700. So it would be nice to see A319s or something fly there in the future, but this is what it is for now. It's been going well. The loads aren't particularly amazing, but you know, it is what it is. It's a regional jet. It's very nice to have here, so hopefully that increases in the future. Would love to see that. And that's all we have for United currently. Okay. Here's kind of a quick overview of the terminal. So let's see. Kind of out of breath from all this talking. It's been a while since I filmed an airport update, so I'm not really used to this, so I apologize. But would love to add an addition down here. I'm kind of working on trying to flatten the board out because I don't know why it's been upward on both ends, so that makes it a little bit difficult. So Frontier, International Gate 1, Delta has their 4 gates, Breeze. We'll probably just stick with 1 for the longest time. American has 2, likely to change in the future. Here's a problem. So when I designed this terminal, unfortunately I didn't really take into account kind of how things fit together. So, excuse me, aircraft slots would be a little bit wonky. So these pillars are supposed to be where the gates are connected to, which they are. This one's been moved a little bit, so I apologize. But they're a little bit too close together, so like every aircraft I have to move down slightly. Having 2 of these in the middle though helps with that. It kind of helps catch things up every block or so, but it's still a little bit of an issue. Now this one's perfect. If I want to have this jet bridge kind of parallel to that one, it's got to be moved down a little bit. So it's a little bit messy, so I wish I had taken that into account. That may change in the future, you know, if I can fix these. That's what's happened over here. You can see this one is almost, well, it's not almost, it's kind of getting into that range where it could be parallel to the terminal at some point because of all this. So that's an issue. Also, this jet bridge you really can't do anything with, because if you want to move this one down so that you can use that one, this one's going to hit this one will have to move down, it'll hit the Breeze A220, you know, it'll have a whole domino effect on the whole airport, so that's very unfortunate. Then the problem is, once you move that one down, once you push it in so you have space, then these ones, to look somewhat normal, to have like a decent distance, almost have to be straight out. So you know, there's no jet bridge there, just because what are you supposed to do with that, you know? Difficult. So a little bit irritating, a little bit frustrating to try and have this all work out smoothly, but we'll get there eventually. Again, we've only had what, 5 or 6 airport updates with this terminal, so maybe even a couple less than that. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get things figured out, but that's how things are going. So let's see, we got the CRJ 900, the 145 taxiing in. So the last aircraft here, pulling out onto runway 29 for departure, we have a Breeze Airways Embraer 195. This is a football charter for Syracuse University. So they had a game here tonight. They won, not by much, but this will be their ride back home to Syracuse, where they'll park at the Million Air Facility at Hancock. So the Breeze Airways Embraer 195 heading out to Syracuse. So that'll do it for today's Cedar Creek Airport update. Once again, I apologize, it's been so long. Again, the whole board got messed up, and today's Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day to you all. I want to thank everyone who may have served for their sacrifices and all of their efforts and works. It's very much appreciated. It means the world. Definitely something you should always be thankful for, never take for granted, because it really means the world when you think about it. So very much appreciated. But I had off school, so I was looking for something to do. I forgot I had this board in the basement, so I went down there, took a look, and decided I would clean it up. So this is how it turned out. It's restored to how it was, looking pretty good. So I'm excited to hopefully get this airport underway once again after a severe delay. So I apologize for that, but I'm very excited to be back here, and I hope you guys are too. So if you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.